There's never enough. I think for me, enough will be where you drive it and it is right at the point where you feel you're going to die. Then maybe it's too much. But no, 1,000 horsepower is perfect to be able to take a D series. Mind you, these are engines that made 96 horsepower. Think about it. And when it was pushed a little bit, it made 108 horsepower. And then when you do a little bit of modifications, you can get maybe to 130 with just some bolt-ons. And then to make 4-digit power out of a 1.6 liter. Think about how much power that is per liter. That is amazing. It's like creating a V8 that can easily eclipse 6,000 horsepower. It's just ridiculous, right? Please bring back the drag events or make a quarter-mile drag car for SoCal LA, says Joseph Q here on TikTok. And you're saying that, and yes, Team and I, after all this SEMA madness goes away, we're gonna be working on an all-motor setup right there. I'm gonna bring back my Insight, proper all-motor. I'm gonna have some fun. But I appreciate that indeed. Where's the OG 911 Turbo? It's actually touring right now. So it's out touring with our friends at Toyo. So I don't have it here in the facility. We should be picking that up very soon. What do you think of the new Type R Honda motor and trans for 2015 Honda Fit Swap? I think Sticky Sam Nimer. Is it Sam Nimer? Sam Nine, Mister. Anyway, however you properly say your screen name, forgive me, please, Mr. Sticky S or Sticky Sam. I think it's amazing. The Honda Fit is a perfect platform to put in a K20C setup. It will fit beautifully, and if you do it right, you can get past emissions. I think it's fantastic, by all means. Do it if you have not. If you have it in plans, make it happen. Very excited to see that, says Fred Macias 4. Thank you so much. Likewise. I remember you from Florida building Civic, says BX Chuck. Thank you so much for being a great advocate of Bisimoto. 1ME is saying greetings and salutations, finally joining in from YouTube, and we're now active. Hey, warrior fella, also from YouTube. Corvote, fellow engineer, fellow builder, amazing guy. Typically, he's all over the social networks here, but today he has chosen his poison as YouTube, saying, any tips on accurately measuring where exactly to place bends in bus bars? Probably something like using a strip of one, can't stack them, transferring the measurements over. So what I have done, it's kind of weird you're asking that. What I've done is I've 3D printed bus bars. So I 3D print it, make sure it sits properly, and then go to the press bend machine and be able to do that. So I don't randomly do it, especially since, as you can imagine, Corvold, copper is pretty expensive. Copper bars are pretty penny, especially the pure copper that we use. If you don't have access to a 3D printer, which I think you do, bending pieces of aluminum or even using cardstock from USPS, they use a little nice cards they use for flat rate shipping, the flat ones. I use that and cut it up first just to make sure it's proper, because definitely you want to be able to measure multiple times and do one cut and be done with it, period, which is pretty good. I have a gentleman who's spamming me on YouTube, so I'm going to kind of remove that away if I can. I'm going to report this. Forgive me, guys. This is unwanted spam and report. Okay. So I don't want any spam on my feed. Okay. Here we go. Let's see here. Thank you for breaking it down. The car is amazing itself. Can't wait to see it. My pleasure indeed. Likewise, I can't wait to see the smile on the face of the owner when he drives that Neo EP9. Single Slammer, says Therac Squad. Absolutely, brother. Single Jingle Baby says, I will pull out. I won't pull out. That's an awesome screen name. Nonetheless, there's a lot of D-Series love here. And by the way, going back to my D-Series excursion, because that's kind of started racing, guys, D-Series were frowned upon. People laughed at us D-Series guys not too long ago. I'd go to a racetrack, people were just like, aha, you couldn't afford a B-Series. And honestly, I couldn't. I just couldn't. But that engine has so much potential, as you can see. And at the time, I remember a couple of times a place called Dan Shop in the South Bay area. It was a shop. People used to do swaps and put Prelude motors in, or B-Series motors in, even LSs or GSRs or B16s or Type R or B-Series engines, and literally throw the D-Series away. And I used to go to the next to garbage bins and load up my wagon at the time with D-Series engines. Or I go to a local pickup party, it was $90. They were throwaway engines, but I was able to make them respectable. Being able to run 10 seconds all motor back in the day and winning races and championships was really a feat indeed. I used to piss a lot of people off. Not that I was the most powerful, because I think I was able to get my all motor D series to about, I think the most I did was 238 horsepower to the wheels on the dyno jet. That was powerful compared to what some of the B series guys were doing. And they were doing this with back half cars, some two chassis cars. I had a full unibody vehicle, but the car accelerated like crazy. And my RPM was north of 8,500. It was carbureted. It was just lightweight and fun accelerated. And that's where we put it on exhaust systems and pulse chambers. I was able to get a lot of good power and scavenging to make it very powerful. So that being said, it was a lot of fun. And nowadays, fast forward to today, because of some of the advantages in technology, these series are now respected. Back then, people used to literally make fun and laugh at me when I had that, you know? What was it, says Jordan Narden, about being on the fastest car series? It was pretty good. It was exciting because you get to go on television, which was on a major network. It was not too exciting because some of the other competitors were kind of rude, but above and beyond that, it was scripted. So what you saw there wasn't super duper real, which is sad. But I did enjoy significantly the team. The production team was great. I made some friends, which I carry on to today. And it was a lot of fun doing that. And it kind of gave some props to the Honda Odyssey world as well, which is pretty nice, you know? Let's see here. Sparez says, please, I'm begging you, can I have mod? I don't know what that means, Sparez. Please be more articulate on what you need, and maybe I can help you out. Good afternoon to you as well, R35, R13. Appreciate you. Jalen Ross, good afternoon. All that to you as well. Thanks so much for joining. Great seeing you recently. Thanks for that awesome camshaft, says Tommy Performance. No, thank you for taking something that's as basic as an awesome camshaft, but making it even much more successful. Legit Puerto Rico, greetings to you as well. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you. What are your thoughts on extended range EVs, internal ICE generators paired with an EV? I don't quite get it, Thorax Squad. Extended range EVs, I'm pausing because I'm trying to be politically correct, which I shouldn't really care, right? I think that hybrids of sorts are, in my opinion, just my opinion, the worst of both worlds. Now, I'll tell you why. Having an internal combustion engine combined with an electric vehicle, in my opinion, takes a vehicle that already is electric, that's relatively heavy, and adding electric, components that can convert petrol or diesel to electricity to help recharge the batteries or help propel the car forward if the batteries die. So while you are in the normal EV mode, without any assistance from internal combustion, you carry on this heavy meal of internal combustion of an engine. When internal combustion engine just kicks in because the battery is low or needs some help going up on certain grades or the case may be, you have a period of time where that turning on of the engine is extremely dirty. Mind you, I love EVs because of the performance and also because of zero emissions. Having something that kicks in internal combustion engine is dirty for a period of time, it's almost defeating the purpose of what we're trying to do. And then if you're running off of the petrol engine alone, you now have an opportunity where you're carrying on a heavy battery and electric motor. It's really inefficiency to the max. So it's not, I'm not really very much a fan of that. If you're going to stay internal combustion and just make it very, very clean, how about the fun you can do it? I love the EVs and performance with that. If I were to design some kind of range extender, if it needs to be something very lightweight, very minimal cylinders, and running on some kind of renewable fuel. But I see no need for that. Personally, I'm not a huge advocate of the concept, Dark Squad, of range generators. If anything, I foresee a world where we are now having more and more energy dense batteries to allow for more range. There are companies, even in China, because they're really more ahead of us, where they're saying 500-600 mile range on a full charge. Most of us only drive, in a day, 30 to 40 miles. And once in a while you travel for long distances. I really don't see it. So it may not be what you want to hear. It's just my opinion. I'm not an advocate, and I don't own any hybrids at all because of that. Daytona area car talk reporting in. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well. I think I'm going to trade my Turbo Cayman S to get back on JDM cars. Interesting. Maybe something like 70s and 80s. Any recommendations? Where you're in Dayton, I assume Ohio. Here in LA, Nissans are the freak. The old wagons. The Skylines, you can't go wrong with those. If you have the budget to be able to build something nice with those, that's the way to go. I've also seen this amazing upsurgence of K cars, and there's some nice stuff out there. The most recent Super Street After Dark event we went to, I think it's not a bad idea. But getting rid of a Cayman S, that seems really cool. I wish you could own both. Keep the Cayman and go with the JDM car. But if you had to, look into some of the classic Nissans. Even though I'm a hardcore H bag guy, those things seem to be really cool and keep their value like mad, you know? Built to Destroy says, I see the Silk Cam. You raced my mom back in the day. Telling my age here. Anyway, yes, I loved racing, did a ton of racing indeed. I see SSOC has joined. I don't know if they can see it. One of the cars back there in front of that great 930 Porsche is a vehicle that'll be on display at their booth at this coming SEMA. So, guys, if you haven't made the SEMA, this is the year to go. We should have 5-6 cars out there all over Central Hall, which is a place to be. Toyo Trespass, the Toyo specialized area in the African American Automobile Association booth as well. We'll also have something in Future Tech. Please come out there. Join my friends and family. Should be really good by all means, you know? Let me drive one of your cars for my YouTube, says Upstart. If you're a proper journalist, send us an email, sales@bisimoto.com. We can probably make something happen. Let's see. Good day to you as well, Maurice Vic86. Thank you so much for joining all the way from across the pond in South Africa. Appreciate you indeed. Oh my goodness, is the amazing Honda minivan. It's not here, it's at the residence, but we had that recently in Compton at the Super Street After Dark event that happened about 3 weeks ago. Also, I may have a lead for incorrectly on the Model 3 PCS OBC. It has been working on for me, but a lot of people have been using enormous trouble as Tesla made many firmware and hardware revisions. Oh my. Well, let me know, because when you and I last spoke, which was last week, and you told me about a cost-effective opportunity for onboard charger, I started looking at Model S stuff, and still, even from what I've seen this past week, Cobalt on the Rolls Royce, I really like the AM stuff. I really do like it a lot, you know? I've been in the garage, says 113RS, no problem. What car is the red one, a Porsche? Yes, this. A gentleman on YouTube just asked about this Porsche, so I'm going to see if I can try and move it around a little bit. Forgive me here. That is it. This is my first center drive center seat Porsche. There's another black one there, over there, black one, center seat. And we also had a gold one that Mattel bought, and it's in their museum. So we've done some amazing center seats. This is a mid-engine. This is a mid-engine center seat twin turbo Porsche, the most amazing truck build ever. If you do a search for Bisimoto center seat Jay Leno, you see him driving it in Willow Springs. He had a blast. Ralph Giles from Stellantis, head of global design, also drove this. Matt Farah also drove this at Willow Springs, or not Willow Springs, Button Willow. Amazing setup. This is just absolutely fantastic. Forgive the noise in the background. My team is working away. I'm so sorry about that, you know? It's probably not Eric. The legend himself says, thank you so much. It's probably not Eric from TikTok. Appreciate your presence indeed. Thank you. Beautiful mate, says Damad132 from YouTube. Thank you so much. Love the work. Favorite car, Honda Wagon, says D Flomarin 330. It's right there. Wagon is right there in all its glory. Thank you so much for the kind words. You're the one who raced the SUV. We built that for, I would say, Hyundai Motors America. It was the 2018 Santa Fe. Yes, I'm the one who built that, the team and I. Do you think one of these cars will look good in the vibrant blue? So, promise. Yes. For the I'm so sorry, guys. You hear that? I don't know if you guys can hear that grinding back there. That's us cutting up some cool vibrant components to build some really cool cars. Vibrant Performance is one of my partners, technical partners, and that's where I go to purchase all of our fabrication material, whether it's turbocharged, supercharged, all motor, EV. That is my component choice supplier. So you see this twin turbo Cayman right there? Those are vibrant components. Santa seat right here, vibrant components. That EV336 right there, vibrant components. The wagon, chock full of vibrant components. How about that EV silver 930 right there? Absolutely. So yeah, I agree with you, Vibrant. The car's really good in Vibrant Blue. As a matter of fact, blue is one of my favorite colors. I have a blue 935 on here. I have my blue wagon. I love blue. My race car CRX that made me is blue. My Insight right there is blue. I love blue cars. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. But yeah, thank you so much for being a great advocate for us and for supplying us amazing components, making our life easier so we can buy fabrication materials that are quality day in, day out. Thank you so much, Vibrant. Have a great day to you as well, R35, R13. What is your favorite car? Here within my realm, I kind of divide it into three. My favorite car that really scares my trousers like crazy is the twin turbo blue Bisimoto Porsche 930. The one that really kind of opened my eyes to the performance of electrification, the K3V 935. That one is one of my favorite cars because it just opened my eyes to what's possible. And then the Odyssey, no matter what I build, it is my most favorite car because it's just absolutely fantastic. And I can't drive anywhere. People just recognize it's just such an iconic vehicle. Has Hot Wheels built, been on a ton of shows, it's been on Top Gear, Fastest Car, CarMax Maker, Hoonigan, you name it, it's been everywhere. So yeah, those are my three favorite automobiles. Have you ever worked on an R18? If yes, how much were you able to achieve in natural aspiration? So if you mean R18, as in the Honda R Series 1.8, I have, but unfortunately for your question, I never did it in natural aspirated trim. I boosted it. We built a 2015 Honda HRV, which has an R Series, and I boosted that. So unfortunately, I have not had the wonderful opportunity of doing anything that was naturally aspirated in that engine configuration. That's a hellacious bill for the truck, said Demad132. Thank you so much. And I assume you're talking about a Sensi. Appreciate that. What happened to Fabian, says 113RS. Unfortunately, and for those of you who don't know Fabian, very good friend of mine, he used to work here as well. He is on vacation for doing something that wasn't very good. So he got involved as a part-time bounty hunter and kind of made a big, grave mistake. And with that mistake, he's on vacation for right now. So for those of you who know, but Fabian's on vacation and he'll be on vacation for a little bit of time. But thanks so much. The Prius is almost out of place. Oh, good thing I don't have a Prius here. I don't think I have one here at all. Let's see here. And Mark, USB, good seeing you, Mark, sir. Thank you so much for joining. Any interest in the off-road project? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I submitted two off-road projects to two manufacturers this year, but one responded and wanted me to do something more lifestyle. So hopefully next year we'll have something going. Exo Truck, hello, sir. Is asking how's my day. My day is going well. I'm just here living the life, especially since it's been much cooler nowadays. You hear my team grinding back there. We're building crazy stuff. Customer cars, SEMA cars, is just packed. We have some 930s we're working on. We have a Neo EP9. It's just crazy. A bus is just a lot going on. I'm so tired. I really want to go to sleep, but I can't. I can't. But nonetheless, we're having a good time. Can't complain that we're busy. Any future rotary products as Empire App Designs? Okay, so one thing you may notice that I'm surrounded here by a lot of variety of cars. There's everything from Hondas to Porsches. There's a Hyundai out there as well. There's a Honda CRZ in the back right there. There's a Tesla in the far back as well. I just love variety. But the one thing that's very consistent with these builds is that I do work with the manufacturer. So with Porsche's been very kind to help me with a lot of projects as well. Honda is a huge advocate. It's been advocates for us since the mid to late 90s, which is great. Hyundai's joined our ranks as well. We worked with Ford, we worked with Lexus, but I haven't done much with Mazda. So we started getting some good places with Mazda. Something did happen a few years ago. I guess they thought it back because of the experience they had. Had nothing to do with me personally, had nothing to do with me, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, the one way that we can build our future rotary project is if we are able to build something with Mazda. And one thing we love to do is build something old and something new. So I am a huge advocate, not a little, huge advocate of the design and functionality of the Wanko motor. Whether it's a 12A, 13B, 20B, even any kind of combination of the sort, I love them. I think they're efficient, light, sound really good, and I can't wait to play around with some exotic tools on those things. So that being said, with Mazda USA, if you're listening, I will be more than happy to work with you and build something new, taking advantage of a lot of the technologies you have coming to play, and at the same time, the same token, building something old school to take a nod for all the older technologies by all means. Because I love the looks of old cars, but I'm a huge advocate of newer technologies indeed. I need to check out the live here, says Dylan Ross. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you indeed, Dylan Ross. I think you're an IG, and now you're over here. But love moving back and forth. I'm here to do as much as I can, do anything I want. Is that an Accord behind you? No, it's not. Behind me is a 1989 Honda Civic wagon all-wheel drive with sequential gearbox, an electrified Porsche 356, and a twin-turbo mid-engine center seat with push-to-pass, by the way, Porsche as well. All right, let's see here. What car did you drive to work today, BC? Says Colin Dow 10. I drove my 2023 Tesla Model S Plaid with a parachute. Yes, I'm driving around LA with a parachute. My Model 3 is in paint. I've been doing a lot of daily driving with that. But in the meantime, in the interim, I drove my Plaid today, which is a lot of fun. It's hard not to get in trouble with that thing. That thing is absolutely fantastic. IXO Motor Car says, do you collect motor cars? I do collect mine. So from Hot Wheels, and there are 6 Bisimoto Hot Wheels, from the Bisimoto Odyssey to a Bisimoto NSX to 3 Civic Type Rs and to a Honda City. I have those. I love collecting small pins, which we have that of the Civic Wagon. I have it of the Odyssey as well. I have a pin of the K3V, a pin of the Porsche M16 935, and the Mobi as well. And then coming up soon is a model car of the K3V. We have a larger one that we did a few years back. And we do have something else coming up to be determined very soon, like coming up this quarter, so stay tuned. But I don't collect other models. I tend to collect my own of my build. I think that's okay. I learned back in 2008, says Dark Squad, that we're building a D-Series Mini-Me in an EG Coupe. Nice, nice. I learned about you. Okay. I'm telling you, I love D-Series stuff. I really do. Absolutely fantastic. Where are you located, says the Mad132. Maybe because of my accent, he assumes the UK. No, I'm in Ontario, California. Southern California, Ontario, where it's nice and cool. And that's where I am. And we've been here for quite a few years, to be honest with you. What's a good starter Porsche, says Vigilante1. Great question. Depends on your budget. So I'll give you some nice 3 options. One, let's say you're on a very, very super tight budget. I am a huge advocate of the Porsche Boxster. If you can, a Boxster S. The Boxster S is a great starter Porsche. It's what got me into Porsches. It was my first love, my first Porsche. Some people make jest of it. It is a fun car, very tossable, excellent handling, amazing build as well, quite reliable. And if you can find one that was well maintained, it can give you many, many years of enjoyment. Sometimes you may find Boxers very, very cheap because there are people who want to get into Porsche and couldn't quite maintain it, so neglected a lot of maintenance. So those are in bad shape. You can pick one up pretty cheap and maybe address some of the shortcomings and keep going. But a Porsche Boxer, from a perspective of being a good entry level, is a great way to go. Let's say you have a couple more bucks and you want to get to a more of the middle tier. The Porsche Cayman, like 101 here, where they're looking at the earlier 987 Caymans or something new, like the, I would say, 981s. Caymans are amazing Porsches, mid-engine, super reliable, so much fun. In my opinion, handle better than the 911. Absolutely fantastic. And you can get those in the, I'd say, a good clean example from like high 20s to maybe $50,000 to $60,000 range. Let's say you have a little bit of money to hover in the 50 range. Another vehicle that a lot of people sleep on is a 996 twin turbo. In my opinion, one of the most underrated, if not the most underrated supercar. All-wheel drive, manual transmission, twin turbo, with a flash and a turbo intercooler upgrade, you can easily make 600 horsepower on those. Compare that to trying to supercharge or turbocharge an NSX. The Porsche will destroy it and is a lot more cost effective and quite robust with a Metzger-based engine. Absolutely fantastic. But let's say your budget is absolutely bananas and you want to enter the Porsche world with a bang. A GT3 RS is the best thing you can get that's treatable, that should be illegal because it's pretty much a track car for the street. It's comfortable enough to drive daily, tossable enough, and hardcore enough for you to take it to the track on the weekends. So those are the three three and a half concepts I have you. Boxster, Cayman 996 twin turbo, GT3 RS. Hope that helps, Vigilante. What do you know about tuning coil unplugged dwell times? And tearing the track up the other day, I lost a coil back. I can tune quite a bit. It depends on engine management solution. For many, many years, my engine management of choice has been AEM, whether it's the EMS or Infinity. I do have the ability of doing coil dwell quite a bit. I can tell you this way, I tend to, and this also affects your ignition timing as well. I am destructive when it comes to coil dwell. So what do? I go on the dyno, I add dwell based upon what engine management solution I have, see if I have any increase in power. And when it gets to a point where I keep increasing, and I do not see an increase, I back off a little bit, maybe about 5 to 10% in terms of dwell times. If I keep seeing power, I will push my dwell until my coils melt, and then I back off. So I'm a bit destructive, but I do add a little bit more dwell to see if it makes a power on the dyno. I just don't just arbitrarily add dwell. I optimize it on the dyno to see if it's helped me at all. And sometimes too much dwell is not ideal. You may want to pull that back a little bit, especially on coil plugs. I am so spoiled nowadays with coil plug subs because they have a lot more spark energy and recovery, better than a single coil that's fine with the distributor, is what we started off back in the day. We always did an external coil using MSD, Blaster 2 coil, that's something of that nature. And then we convert to coil plug and saw some great, I would say great advantages there. Porsches have coil plug. I tend to take away the igniter coil plug and go with a self-exciting one, or one that has a smart coil built-in trigger. That's what I do in all these cars. So yeah, that's what I tend to do. Hopefully that helps you. My way may not be a good way because I'm destructive, but it's the only way I learn is to destroy things and back off. That's how we build pretty reliable setups, believe it or not. The Mad 132 says, a little help for everyone. Amy Euro, best thing to do always is maintenance. Might be expensive, but to drive and ride, you get amazing. Any Euro car. Oh, any Euro car. Okay, I thought you said Amy Euro. Well, thanks for the insight. I may respectfully disagree with you with some of the earlier BMWs. Those tend to be quite troublesome. But Porsches, where you're looking at the old school air cooled from the 3.0 to 3.2 to 3.6 to modern day, they've been pretty robust. I like them a lot. I really, really do. I was talking to a Veloto owner the other day, since Exo truck. It's a hybrid now. Front wheels are pure electric, semi-range, the gearbox ditch, reverse gear, and they rely on electric motor for reverse. Interesting. That's interesting indeed. Interesting. I love different concepts. I love being unique and making things happen. How can I make some power on my F23A? Asked STM Brian. Oh, you've come to the right place, sir. It depends on what your goals are. If you want something that's very simple and straightforward, you can do the very straightforward and tried and true intake, header, exhaust, and camshaft. By doing an intake, a cold air intake, or something that's less restrictive, and by the way, this has to do a lot with what is allowed in your local jurisdiction. Don't do anything illegal, but all things being equal, an intake will release a nice amount of power and give you a nice little tone because it takes energy to inhale by your engine. So pulling through a restrictor hurts power. Going with an intake and associated components like an oversized throttle body can help create some power for you. Header. Factory exhaust manifolds for F23 are restrictive as F. It's absolutely fantastic in terms of keeping power away from you. Putting on some kind of aftermarket header, DC or equivalent, can release some of that energy and allow for better scavenging to allow you to have a lot more clean, reliable power. Exhaust. Have you seen the exhaust on the factory F23A? This big. Going with larger exhaust, 2.5, I'm crazy how you can go to 3-inch. Removes restrictions in terms of exhaust and back pressure and it releases power. Because same way it takes energy to inhale, it takes a lot of energy to push out those exhaust expend gases out of your car. When you remove those restrictions, it's not available for you to accelerate. Then when it comes to what I mentioned last but not least, camshafts. We make an array of F23A camshafts from level 1, which gives about a 5 to 7% improvement in power. Level 2, which is the most popular one, which gives a 7 to 10% improvement in power. Or level 3, going even crazier, can give you a lot more power too. You bolt them in, do your valve latch, and you're good to go. Anything level 2.5 and higher, you do need to tune your car with some kind of engine management system, like a Honda or AEM or so on and so forth. So that being said, those are options. Now, if you were the ultimate crazy power fiend like I am, boosting that would be amazing as well. Those come with low compression speed. You can get away with a little bit of power just by adding a turbo kit to that and getting some camshafts. But if you want to do it extremely reliably and have a lot of fun where you don't have to worry about any kind of maintenance or reliability at all, you do have to maintain, but no reliability issues at all. You want to see the block, go to rods, go to pistons, go to Bisimoto camshaft and valve train, and boost your heart content with a proper engine management solution and updated injectors and pump. And you'll be good to go. Give me some idea of what you need. I can point you in that direction or write to us at sales@bisimoto.com, and we can help you with your quest for speed. Oh, snap. I came to the right place, says Gucci7224. Thank you so much for joining. Yo, this is a car channel. Yes, it is indeed, Mr. Gucci. Thank you so much for joining. 9 1/4. Okay, not bad at all. Yeah, that's a good one to have and modify indeed. How much would it cost to turn a 993C2 engine into a turbo? Adding a turbo anyway, says Andy F1. That depends. Are you manual, automatic? Where are you located? What fuels do you want? Andy, kindly send us an email, sales@bisimoto.com. I can point you in that direction and help you out a ton. Especially with a 993C2. We even have a plug-and-play application that can allow us to add an engine management solution, get rid of your max setup, and update you to a speed density setup. So yeah, we can do a lot to help you indeed. JD Swartz 5 says, heard that you can bar an L series in the older EK6. Can you confirm? Yes, you can. In California, you can take any engine and put in any chassis as long as you meet and exceed the emission requirements for that car or the chassis or engine, whichever one is newer. So if you take an old school EK and you put a new L series setup in it, L15, whether it's something you may see in a Civic or in the Fit, you can put it in with the ECU and all the accoutrements and get it barred by a state ref or your local DMV without qualm. Yes, it can happen. You have a confirmation from me that it is possible and can be done. Corvo said, I think you mentioned you're using NACS for the next car and doing fast charging. How are you handling the high connectivity from the NACS port to the junction box? Oh, that's actually quite simple. There are contactors there in the NACS setup that allow you to use the same two prongs to go direct DC to DC or to use it through an onboard charger. Contactors are the way. When you receive the communication protocol that a fast charge moment is happening, it detaches everything from the onboard charger and connects the contactors that go directly to your battery pack that is DC in nature. Communication is everything. So what I'm doing is I'm building all my cars, whether it's CHAdeMO or CCS, with additional contactors and wires laying there to allow for a very seamless communication or conversion later on when we have access to the protocol that NACS wants to see. The one thing that I've already seen with preliminary data is that NACS wants to see mileage, wants to see VIN numbers. We may have to spoof that. Wants to see manufacturer data. He wants to see a lot of crazy stuff. But believe it or not, the protocol for NACS, from what I've seen so far, is slightly simpler than what you may see with CCS. CCS is the most convoluted one. CHAdeMO is right down the bottom, which is just very simple, straightforward CAN language. And in between is NACS. So yeah, just in preparation, I'm setting everything up for that. So when the time comes, in a perfect world, I can have a customer come in with CCS in the morning and leave that evening or the next morning with NACS ready to go and validate it. So that's the goal. Let's see. So many great questions here today. I am so hungry. I need to eat something. Yes, we hear it. Says my style is my brand. What did I miss? What did I miss? Are you guys hearing me properly? You're the best, BC says Vibrant. No, you guys are the best. You, Bruno, the team, Bruno and the team. Just amazing individuals. Love you guys deeply, you know? BC, are you still here at the Classic Car Show this year in Long Beach? Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be setting up the wagon there. I'll be there set up a day before, and I'll be there as a judge still, Cav. And if you're going to be there, I'd love to be able to see you and say hello. All right. Oh, for those of you who don't know what JCCS is, it's a Japanese classic car show that happens in Long Beach. It happens every year, with exception of those years when we had COVID. If you love classic cars and you love Japanese cars, that is the place. That place, the most beautiful examples of vehicles I've ever. It's like a museum, but better, but outside, next to the Long Beach Pier. Beautiful place, next to Queen Mary. Gorgeous. So Georgia and team put that together. It's great. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, let's see here. Any update on that Boxster clutch? Says Amy. Oh, I need to go upstairs and check. God, I get so bogged down. I got here. I left the house about 5 something. I've been here since early morning. I am nonstop. This is actually a break, hanging out with all of you guys. So I need to go upstairs and check on those clutches. Thank you so much, Amir, Ali. Thanks for the reminder. I'm gonna go check it out and see what's going on. All right, send me a DM and remind me again. I may get off of this and get crazy again. Choose Review 76. Greetings. Thank you so much for joining this Tech Tuesday. So nice to be back here in the shop without a ton of heat. But you know, we have cold coming up soon, so it's gonna be pretty interesting as time progresses. All right, let's see here. I remember finding you from a video about twin turbo air-cooled Porsche. It says HTX Louis. Appreciate that. All the way from TikTok. Appreciate all of you. And once again, I have so much going on here. Instagram, TikTok. I would say through podcasters via Spotify, it cascades everything to all the podcast networks. So you can listen to this whether you're using the new, at the gym, laying down, driving. It's great. It's great indeed. JCCS is amazing, says the Mad 132. Yes, it is indeed. Kobosa, I meant physically from the NACS port to the fast charge contactors. I believe the Model 3, they have these massive aluminum rods bent into shape. I've used 2-aught for all my stuff. That's what I've done. And once again, all my ports, Corvolt, at the header of the vehicle itself are CCS. I'm setting up contactors and wires to be able to change the port. I do not connect to an NACS port yet. I've not done that. There's no need for me to do that until I have the protocol to be able to switch customers over. I'm just laying in a harness, extra harness material and contactors to make that transition much easier for my clients. So if your question is, do I have a CCS port in addition to an NACS port, and the NACS port is already connected to the high voltage DC contactors? No, I have not done that. There's no need for me to do that quite yet until I can make sure. But what I'm trying to do is prevent myself from rewiring all of my cars and my client cars when we have the NACS protocol, which can be quite invasive. I don't want to do that. The biggest project that I have to embark on is changing the location or moving the charge port and making some kind of fixture to allow for easy adaptation that can look good. But I don't want to rewire the chassis or go back to the batteries and rewire all that stuff and install contactors and all that stuff when I already have access when building the cars. I'm just thinking ahead, knowing that the J3400 is coming and is a very nice, beautiful solution. Even though my 935 Tributes, being able to put CHAdeMO, it's very difficult to kind of fabricate around the plug itself, Kovolt. Even some chargers, when they replace the charger heads, the dimensions are not quite the same. So I have to remove my cover and also remove the receptacle holding it just so I can plug in the port. That is such a nuisance. I have to walk around with a small Allen head key. It's a lot going on. I'd rather use one port that's small, compact, doesn't have a bunch of cooling inside that can break, and plug it in and be done with it. Let my other ports be for fluids. But the NACS or J3400, I like how it looks. I like it's not bulky. It's easy for our builds. I can plug it in quite nicely. It's quite ubiquitous. A lot of manufacturers are going on to it. So because of my appeal, anticipating that I'll end up updating later on, I'm laying in information and harnesses and just hardware to allow me to do it very seamlessly, you know? There's a Porsche 711 behind you. 711? I do have a Porsche 930 there, a 935 here, a center seat Boxer Cayman there, 911T. Yeah, quite a few nonetheless. Yes. STM Brian says, I appreciate you so much, BC. Thank you for taking the time to answer my questions. I got to go to work now. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much, STM Brian. I appreciate your advocacy. And guys, with that, I really should depart. It's almost a full hour since we've interacted here, and I have so much to do. I have to get back to work. But in the meantime, stay safe, guys. Stay cool. Thank you so much for being part of this wonderful journey. And for those of you, Team Tommy Performance, thank you so much for really pushing the envelope with performance that we started, and you're making it even more and more exciting and giving all of these series guys a lot of props and interaction. In the meantime, guys, stay safe. See you next week. Try and make it to SEMA. It's going to be a great one. Take care, everyone. Cheers. Bye-bye.